Hello and welcome to FEMTECH Live Lounge, a monthly discussion that celebrates the intersection of technology and the AI industry. This series is presented by Virtual Patent Gateway. Today's interviewer is Melanie Grover. Melanie is a principal at Hughes Bellermann. Her practice focuses on strategic patent prosecution, client counseling, and opinions in a range of technical areas, including database technology, user interfaces, big data analytics, and medical software and devices. Joining Melanie is Eugina Jordan, an industry awards judge, author, advisory board member, and CMO of Telecom Infra Project. And with that, I'll hand things over to Melanie.
Thank you, Caitlin. I wanted to get a couple of a disclaimer out of the way at the beginning. The content of this discussion is for educational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice, and anything said here is my opinion alone. I also wanted to thank VPG for hosting this event and bringing Eugina and I together. Very excited to talk with Eugina today. And give a thank you to Ashley Chung for creating the FEMTECH Titan Lounge that can bring women like myself and Eugina together. So welcome, Eugina.
Thank you.
I thought we would start out today by talking about what you see as a huntress mindset and to kind of give us a little bit of the story of your journey to becoming a huntress.
Such a great question. And again, I want to thank VPG, FEMTECH Live, and Ashley for creating this platform, for bringing us together. So very, very grateful, because we need these platforms where we can openly chat with one another, provide advice, and also learn from one another. So thank you for that. And to answer your question, Melanie, huntress mindset is, to me, it's based on four principles. So you know what you want. You know your value. You know that you deserve it. You know what you can bring to the table. So huntress mindset is based on self-awareness. Then, once you know who you are, you do not wait to anyone to give it to you or bring it to you on a silver platter. No, you go and you get it. They close the door, you knock on the door again. If they don't open it, you climb through the window. You get what you need. And the last one, it's very important, because when we talk about men that are hunters, we don't talk about empathy, we don't talk about kindness. Though huntresses, they're strong, they know their value, they go get what they want. They're also empathetic and kind, not just to people around them, but to themselves. So if the prey, for whatever reason, gets away, they know it's not about winning the battle, because you might lose a battle or two. It's about winning the war. And that's how I define the hunter's mindset.
I like that. And it seems like, how did you come to those three principles?
Experience and reiteration, because you see what people do around you and you learn from the best. There is some amazing women CEOs out there, and not a lot, but you learn from them. You learn how confidently they speak. When they're being men interrupted, they go, "Excuse me, I didn't finish." When they're being mansplained, how they handle it. So, and it's just getting confidence and learning from them, and then practicing.
That's fantastic. I think I'd like to talk a little bit about the first principle. I guess recognizing our values and abilities. I think maybe sometimes, and not all women are this way, but a lot of times, do you think we're undervaluing what we can do and what we can bring to the table? And so how do you get, what advice would you have for somebody maybe starting out or somebody that's in a position where they're a little unsure about the value that they bring?
That is a very good question, because as women, we were taught that it's not modest to talk about our accomplishments. And we made believe, right, Melanie, that our work will speak for us. Does it speak for us?
No.
No, it doesn't.
It needs a
So,
platform.
yes, we need platforms. We need digital platforms. We need podcast, industry events. We need platforms like LinkedIn. We need opportunities to speak in meetings. We need opportunities to do those presentations. So, and it comes down to, we all know a lot of good, useful things. We're professionals in our area. And if you're not sure, then you do two things. Number one, you create a brag list. I have a brag folder where when someone sends you an email, you store it in that brag folder when they say, oh, wonderful job. And then the second one is, after you watch this live, why don't you ladies sit down, take a notebook like this, and write down all your accomplishments. And then what you will have to do, you will have to turn the page and write more, because I know you have so many accomplishments. And that's how you will learn, by looking at that list, pages of your accomplishments. You will say, I know my stuff. And once you realize that, you become unstoppable.
That's fabulous. I'm curious about the brag folder. Like, when do you pull that out? Or how is it the process of collecting these brag items and doing the list of accomplishments that helps you? Or is there another step to that?
So, brag folder, you pull it out whenever you need to. So, you pull it out for when you're doing your annual review. You pull it out when you get ready for an interview. You pull it out when you're feeling down. I have a text message from a friend from maybe 10 years ago, when I took a screenshot and I favorited it, and it's a first text message, and I always scroll through my favorites. And I was going through some challenges, and she said, you are amazing, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise, and don't let those people pull you down.
Nice.
So you look at that text message when you feel down. We're all humans. We all feel unsure and insecure. We just don't want to be in those feelings. We can observe and say, oh, I feel a little bit weird. I feel a little bit insecure. I feel a little bit nervous. Okay, it's okay, Eugina. We all human feel this way, but let's just get you out and become more confident in this situation. And that's what helps, when you look at those written words and you say, yeah, it helps. I am that.
And kudos to your friend, and because I think that's an example of what we need to do for each other as well, is to create those messages that then other people can put into their brag folders and re-review at times that they need them. So that's a good, we need to see ourselves as mentors as well as mentees, and do those kinds of things to help those around us. So that's beautiful. What other platforms? Like, talk a little bit about using platforms to not just let our work speak for itself. I think that's a really good point. And I did that a lot at the beginning of my career, thinking that my work would just speak for itself and I didn't need to have a voice. So again, going back to advice for those just starting out, or those who are looking for a reset, and how to find their voice. What advice would you give to them? Specific advice on specific platforms or things that they should look at doing?
Absolutely. right now it's the beginning of December, and we're thinking about our goals for 2025. And it's a great opportunity for us to create that plan, where and how we want to be visible. And it's very easy. You go in Google Docs and you create an Excel, and you list platforms like LinkedIn, or maybe it's Threads, or maybe it's the blue sky, or whatever
Yeah,
that
yeah.
new app is, right? So, and you put LinkedIn, then you put articles, then you put webinar, then you put industry speaking. And all you need to do is you need to be consistent across those channels. For LinkedIn, it's you can start with one post a week. First month, one post a week. Second month, February, you do two posts a week. Third month, you do three posts a week. Tiny, consistent steps. And by the third month, you will have following, you'll figure it all out, what your content pillars are, what you're comfortable with. And then for the other activities, there is a platform you can sign up for a free account. It's quoted. I believe it's QWOTED quoted. You can submit your thoughts to different industry publications. You can create a free Medium account. You can post your thoughts there. And again, it's once a month, because you don't have to do everything at the same time. Once a month, you will do an article. Then speaking. There's another great platform. I use it all the time and I get paid. And other, high level speaking, it's Innovation Women. And you can sign up for an account. It's very inexpensive. And it gives you a platform to all those events where you can submit. And all you have to do is just do the work. No one is going to do the work for you. No one is going to build your brand and make you visible. And you can submit those applications. So if you you create the plan, sign up for those platforms, you can start executing on day one across your social, across writing article, across speaking at events. And if you want podcast, there's another great tool. It's oh my god, matchmaker.fm. With free account, you can apply to 50 podcasts a month. So you have all the tools. Majority of them are free or very low cost, and you can start building your brand yourself consistently.
Very cool. um, I think this advice has all been applicable to any particular career. I think I'd like to focus now a little bit on the tech industry. So women in the tech industry, and I know, as I started out in computer science, there weren't a lot of women in my classes. I'm glad to say that 30 plus years later, my daughter does have more women in her classes. Yes, I was that was good news. But there's still a long ways to go, and there's still certain areas, where women are underrepresented in those tech areas. Are there particular, and as a woman in tech, is there a particular challenge that we face, or that we can attack as the huntress?
My opinion might not be popular, but it's ourselves. So because if we believe that we don't belong in tech, we're not going to apply for careers in tech. We're not going to go to school for careers in tech. Boys are not smarter than girls. We can do it all. We just need to decide, yeah, I want to do it, and go to school or learn on the job, because that's what I did. I learned, I started in telecom 25 years ago, learned everything on the job, have 12 patents, created new market category, because I believe that I can succeed in that area. So how hard can it be? Yeah, it's going to be hard, of course, but it's consistent steps. So the only enemy, the only person that's going to prevent you ladies from being successful in tech is you. Once you decide that you want to be in tech, you want to do certain roles in tech, then you need to surround you with people. You need to find sponsors and mentors. And there's a lot of good people out there. Once they see that fire in your belly, they will help you. But no one is going to help a person who doesn't want to help themselves.
That's great. And I think you and I talked before this call a little bit about the people in your life and dividing them into groups. Do you want to talk a little bit on this podcast about because I think it's important to find the correct voices to listen to.
Yes, absolutely. And again, as women, we're people pleaser. So if someone doesn't like us, we're gonna spend hours and hours and hours to try to prove to that person we're likable. So my advice is let the haters be, because there will be three categories, one, two, three, in your life. The bottom category, or whatever the right one, are the haters. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, they're not going to like you. They're not going to praise you. They're not going to help you. Let them be. Don't waste your time. The second one, they're going to be indifferent. They're not going to like you. They're not going to hate you. They're going to just be indifferent. And you can come to those people and ask for help, but don't expect much from them. The category you want to concentrate and you want to concentrate on is right here. It's your people. They're going to support you no matter what. They're going to provide you love, support, encouragement. So instead of trying to please the haters, try to please people that are already in your corner.
That's excellent advice. I think sometimes we waste too much energy on trying to please people that we just are never going to win over.
Why?
Yeah. Put that energy towards mentoring yourself and mentoring others, and giving voice to your abilities. That great advice. In the time we have left, I also kind of wanted to talk about a little bit about artificial intelligence. As you know, there's a lot of AI being developed very quickly right now. It's surprising how fast Chat GPT and those large language models came on the scene and have been incorporated in many ways in many of our products. But how do we, this is something that's here to stay. How do we embrace AI instead of fearing it? Or in other words, how might AI help us? And I guess, how can we look out for pitfalls in how it might harm our tech destinies?
That is a very good question, because obviously there's a lot of ethical concerns. ChatGPT just released their SOAR platform, video generation platform, but they locked it because of all the copyright issues and deepfakes issues. So yes, that is a concern. But sitting and worrying about AI and not learning AI is not going to help us. And especially women, we want to get that cutting edge in our career, because there is a lot of industries and a lot of business functions, from marketing to finance to legal, and different industries, from healthcare to law firms to finance organizations. They going to be using AI. So to make yourself indispensable, go out there and learn AI. So, and again, put it as your plan. If you're planning how to be visible, put in your plan learning AI. Allocate, again, very small, 1 hour a week. I'm not asking for, an hour a day, 1 hour a week to learn about AI. There's a lot of free courses out there, and I post a lot of those free courses in my newsletter. AWS has prompting courses. Google, Android has Anthropic with Claude has a lot of training courses. ChatGPT, fantastic blog and YouTube channel. So find those resources and learn and learn and learn. And by learning how AI operates, how AI modeling works, you will learn how to use AI. The new laws are coming. The AI, Artificial Intelligence EU Act, will be kicking off in February. So understanding that. So get ahead, learn the tools, learn the regulations, and commit to spending 1 hour a week on learning AI. And I bet that by the end of the second month, you will be probably spending 2 to 3 hours a week because you're gonna love it. But committing small, that's where you will succeed.
That's so true. And because I think it's an unknown to a lot of people. And so to your point, educating yourself about it can go a long way towards relieving the fear of it. And also, I feel like if we don't do that, we'll be left behind. Like it's a course change. It's a big disruptor. And, a lot of people are worried about AI taking their jobs. But yeah.
No. AI is not going to take your job. A person that knows AI will take your job.
So be that person, right?
Exactly.
Jump in with both feet and learn about it. It is important. I do believe that is an area that we all need to educate ourselves on and become comfortable using and discovering new ways to use it as well. All right. Is there another topic you'd like to go through as part of this discussion? What changes would you like to see? Is there any changes in the tech industry that you would encourage women to affect?
So changes, we can drive a change. We cannot expect that someone else is going to drive that change for us. We need to be that voice. We need to make it better for other women. When I had my son 20 years ago, I know I don't look old enough and you don't look old enough to have, kids in their 20s, but here we are. So when I had my son 20 years ago, I was pumping in a bathroom because there was no rooms for mothers. I was supposed to, work, and we were just, told to figure it all out. So, and how I changed it when I became a leader, I made sure that expectant fathers or expectant mothers, they were not put in the same conditions that I was put in. So when you know better, do better, as Maya Angelou says. And that's how we can make it better for women in tech.
Yeah, so maybe we could finish up with you talking a little bit about your Gen AI business newsletter.
Oh, yes. Thank you for asking. This is my passion project. And the way it started in the spring of this year, I was, again, learning about AI, spending a lot of time, and people constantly were coming to me because I have patents in predictive AI in telecom, and they were asking me about AI. And I was explaining to them, and then I realized that if there's 10, 15 people have those questions, there might be more. So I put it in the newsletter, and since April I just celebrated 10,000 10,000 subscribers. And it's because I build it with the subscribers in mind. I build it with me in mind, what I want to learn about, how it's being integrated in different industries, news about models, free resources, tools, women in AI, promoting women leading in AI as well, because if you see them, you can be them. And I guess when you deliver value, then subscribers come. And I'm very grateful to everyone, that's following me, that's engaging, that providing input to this newsletter, sends me messages. And it's a little quirky because I'm a little funny, a little quirky. Like, for example, I'm going to finish on a funny note. I know we're running out of time. Perplexity CEO, he's a young, very smart guy, and he's doing really well in software. And there was an article he wanted to get into hardware. I spent 25 years in telecom, and hardware is, oh my God, it's so hard. So in my newsletter, I had conversation, like I was talking to him, dude, don't do hardware. Do software. Hardware is so hard. So my newsletter is very, it compiles everything that happened in Gen AI in the previous week, but it also has quirky insights from my experiences. And that's what it's all about. So basically, if you are doing software and AI, don't get in AI hardware unless you have deep pockets like, NVIDIA or AWS. No, don't do that.
That's awesome. And Ashley, thank you for putting a link to the newsletter in the chat. I encourage everybody to go check it out and get Eugina way past 10,000 subscribers.
That would be so amazing because sharing, I love sharing. My first degree, I have master's in teaching, and once a teacher is always a teacher. And giving people resources so they can become successful in what they do makes me very happy. And I'm so happy to see comments from people and DMs how their newsletter helped them in their role. So yes, sharing is caring, and sharing is helping one another to become efficient in this new area.
Absolutely. And I think that you are such an example of everything that we've talked about today, and a mentor for those around you, and hopefully for those tuning into the podcast. It's been very fun to speak with you today.
Thank you. You're just so natural. And thank you for interviewing me. And thank you for providing your insights as well. And once more, VPG, FEMTECH Live Lounge. Yes. Thank you for hosting us.